What's up, YouTube? Peter Mac here, bringing you guys another episode of New Meta Mondays. If you guys are hyped for today's episode, please go ahead and Mac attack the hell out the like button, as your support is greatly appreciated. Before we get into today's episode, for those of you that didn't know or didn't realize, last Monday I actually uploaded my 50th video to YouTube. So there'll be an update video coming to you probably, I'm aiming for next week sometime. I'm not quite sure yet. I still have to iron out a few details with regards to it. Also, for those that noticed, I also had a new intro. Well, not new, but first time I've ever attempted doing an intro into my video. Please go ahead in the comment section and let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions about it. It's my first attempt, so hopefully as I get more experience and whatnot, it actually turn out to be better. So today with New Meta Monday, we have it's a little bit different today. Mostly I've been sticking to OU singles, but I was because I also run a what's that thing called, a daycare service, where I offer to breed Pokemon for people, and this Dedenne set, well, not this particular Dedenne set, but a guy asked me to breed him a timid Dedenne. And I was talking to somebody else, and they were saying that that this set here that I'm going to be putting up in a minute is probably pretty viable. Maybe not, definitely not in singles, but definitely in doubles or even VGC. So like I have a feeling that for some people out there, this could actually be like the new Pachirisu from last year. It might take a while for it to catch on, or somebody may be able to find a couple moves or a little twist to the EVs or whatever. But I think this actually is a definite chance to actually do something. Just going quickly, I'd like to point out the fact that it has base 101 speed. That's ridiculous. Like, that's really high. Like, I can't even, like, just in the OU tier, we're talking, what, he's faster than Charizard. He's almost as fast as Garchomp. Like, he's one base point off from Garchomp speed. Like, that's pretty ridiculous. That this Pokemon speed is almost identical to that of a Garchomp. But anyways, because this is going to be run more like a support Pokemon, I figured, especially in VGC, you need different items and stuff. So I thought a Citrus Berry was actually going to be a very good item for him. And you run that with combined with Cheek Pouch, his Cheek Pouch ability, and it actually ends up. I think I worked it out to being, he gets back about 100 hit points just from pop once your Citrus Berry gets popped. So I mean, you basically go from I was using him at VGC level 50. So I mean, you're going to be running max HP. Like, that's, I mean, anything above 74 HP, you're going to be back up to full because your Citrus Berry pops. So, and the video that I'm going to be showing is actually, you'll actually end up seeing that on the third one, the third time I get the Citrus Berry to pop. But yeah, so if you run Citrus Berry and combine with Cheek Pouch, you get about 100 hit points, which is 174. That's what, 80. Like, so it's even better than having Recover on him. So, so the moves that I was running that I think are probably going to be his best bet are Nuzzle, because it's a 100% chance to paralyze, so that's pretty good. It's a bit of speed control. Recycle, because it gets your last item. So that way, once your Citrus Berry pops, you go for Recycle, you get your Citrus Berry back, and go back and back and back. So I mean, you can basically keep going and keep getting HP back, and you'll actually see me do that a couple times in the battle. Entrainment, I think that's how you pronounce it, but it basically, it swaps the target's ability for yours. So basically anything that's like you'll see in the episode that you'll actually see me use this on a Pokemon, and it actually screws it up, because a lot of these, like if you use them on, say, an Azumarill, like you take away its huge power ability, Like that's a huge, huge deal, like blow you've dealt to their team without a huge power zoom roll. So I mean, this move might not seem like it does a lot, but it could actually be extremely important, especially in VGC. And the last move is Eerie Impulse. Now, there's two ways you can run it. You could actually run Eerie Impulse, which lowers the target's special attack by 2, or you can run where is it? Charm, which lowers the attack by 2. It really depends which way you want to run it. You're on a specially defensive Dedenne, then you would go with Charm. You're on a defensive Dedenne, like I ran. It actually ends up you're better off running, I can't even spell it, Eerie Impulse, because it lowers the base special attack by 2. So you'll basically be now able to tank a lot of physical hits as well as the special attack from that specific Pokemon you were Eerie Impulsing or whatever you want. I mean, because of Eerie Impulse, you're basically going to be running a Impish Nature with 252 defense just to take the physical hits, and I put the last 4 just in special defense just because he's not meant to do damage, so there's no point running it into attack. Nuzzles for paralysis, so I think with this set here, there might be some people out there who are actually able to use them. Maybe not in VGC, like maybe not like world champion VGC, but I mean it's definitely something that I think people need to consider running, because I ran it and it actually was doing really well. And I'm just gonna quit Showdown here, and we're actually just gonna flip over to the battle here. It's just a random free for all I had with a couple of my buddies, Mantis and VGA and one of VGA's friends, but it's pretty straightforward, I think, for the most part here. This X-Blood actually ends up being a it's Scarf. So now you can see that already on the first turn the Citrus Berry gets popped. So I'm back up. I go from 56 hit points up to 157 hit, so it's 101 HP. But I mean, that's a lot of HP back on just restoring. I mean, a lot of these Pokemon here are actually just run for we're having more fun and not whatnot. But I mean, like now I've Eerie Impulsed a Choice Scarfed X-Cloud, so now he's at -2. And the next turn, there's Mantis with his great nicknames. He goes for another Boom Burst because he's Choice. I go from 157 HP down to 97, so that's what, 60 hit points. I go from popping my Citrus Berry to only taking 60 hit points. Like, that's a huge difference just by one move. So I go for the Recycle on this turn because I want my Citrus Berry back. So I mean, that's pretty straightforward. I want to keep getting that HP recovery back as I go along. I think I don't think he ever switches out his X-Blood. I think he just keeps it in, but he brings out his Lopunny. He goes Fake Out just to get rid of the Zapdos. But now you see the this turn, I believe I go for the Nuzzle on the X-Blood. He's still faster than me right now. And I think he actually brings me down now to 36 HP, pop the Citrus Berry, get the Cheek Pouch ability to activate, and I go from 36 HP up to 137 HP. Like we're talking like a huge difference here in being able to live a hit next turn or whatnot. So like, I mean, that's another thing, like I didn't do much damage, but now he's paralyzed and I'm faster than him. Like that's a huge plus for me. So I don't necessarily have to be worried. This is where you're going to see the entrainment come into play. I don't think necessarily on this turn, if I'm not mistaken. I think on this turn I go for what do I go for? I go for the I think I go for the Recycle again, because I want to keep getting my Citrus Berry back as I go along. So yeah, Recycle. I get my Citrus Berry back. He's still Choice Scarfed. Well, he's still Choice, so he goes for the Boom Burst. He brings me down to below half. So, I mean, again, pop my Citrus Berry, I get the HP back, and I go from 83 up to full health. Like it's pretty at this point. Like we were actually doing I could actually hear them talking because we were out doing this over Skype, but like they were just killing themselves laughing that this thing was actually just sitting around for so long and just messing with them all. And now you see entrainment come in. He goes from having tough claws to cheek pouch. That's a huge difference. Like that goes from me being able to take hits, like physical hits. Like I lived the earthquake, obviously, but I go from taking the earthquake to being able to now probably even take it even better if I managed to live. I could have maybe even actually done some more damage, but that's just going to show you that, you guys, like, people out there need to consider that, these lower Pokemon, especially like Pokemon like Pachirisu that won Worlds last year, and even um, Dedenne, like you saw today, actually ends up wrecking opponents because they don't expect them and they don't realize what they can do. So I think people need to start realizing and start using these lower tier mons in maybe not necessarily like world championships, but I mean like just giving them a shot and seeing what they can do, because you could never know between ability, item, and moves what you can actually accomplish with some of these Pokemon. So um, don't forget to suggest Pokemon for next week. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. That'd be great. Thanks, guys.